What does it mean when someone talks to themselves? Society often treats it as strange, awkward, or even a sign of instability. But psychology shows us something different. Self-talk isn't a flaw. It's a feature, a sophisticated cognitive tool that helps people process emotions, solve problems, and regulate behavior. This video isn't about diagnosing anyone or making people feel self-conscious. It's about revealing the remarkable psychological traits that often develop in people who engage in healthy self-talk. Traits that can inspire all of us to think more clearly, feel more grounded, and act more intentionally. Because sometimes, the conversation you have with yourself is the most important one you'll ever have. The first trait is enhanced emotional regulation. When you talk to yourself, you're not just venting. You're labeling emotions, which psychology shows reduces their intensity. This process is called affect labeling. By saying, "I'm feeling anxious" or "this is frustrating," you activate the prefrontal cortex, the brain's rational center, while calming the amygdala, the fear center. People who talk to themselves often develop this skill naturally. They don't suppress emotions. They name them. They don't get overwhelmed by feelings. They process them through language. This isn't weakness. It's emotional intelligence in action. And in a world that often tells us to just stay positive, the ability to honestly name and navigate difficult emotions is increasingly rare and increasingly valuable. The second trait is superior problem solving through verbal scaffolding. When you speak your thoughts out loud, you're not just repeating words. You're structuring chaos into coherence. Psychology describes this as verbal scaffolding, using language to build mental frameworks for complex problems. People who talk to themselves often think more clearly because they're forcing abstract ideas into concrete language. They ask themselves questions. They weigh options aloud. They talk through steps before acting. This isn't rambling. It's reasoning made audible. And when you can hear your own thinking, you can catch errors, spot gaps, and refine solutions in real time. This skill doesn't just help with daily decisions. It builds a habit of structured thinking that serves you in every area of life. The third trait is increased self-awareness through metacognitive dialogue. Metacognition means thinking about your thinking. And self-talk is one of the most accessible ways to practice it. When you ask yourself, "Why did I react that way?" or "What am I really afraid of here?" you're not just talking. You're observing your own mind. Psychology shows that people who engage in reflective self-talk develop stronger metacognitive awareness. They notice their patterns. They question their assumptions. They adjust their strategies. This isn't navel-gazing. It's intentional self-examination. And self-examination is the foundation of growth. When you can observe yourself without judgment, you gain the power to change yourself with purpose. The fourth trait is stronger memory consolidation through self-repetition. When you repeat information to yourself, whether it's a name, a task, or a concept, you're not just rehearsing. You're strengthening neural pathways. Psychology calls this the production effect. Information you produce yourself, by speaking or writing, is remembered better than information you just consume. People who talk to themselves often use this technique instinctively. They repeat instructions. They summarize what they've learned. They verbalize goals to cement them in memory. This isn't redundancy. It's reinforcement. And in an age of information overload, the ability to retain what matters is a quiet superpower. The fifth and final trait is greater resilience through compassionate self-coaching. Not all self-talk is critical. In fact, psychology shows that people who use supportive, encouraging self-talk recover from setbacks faster and persist longer toward goals. This is called self-compassionate dialogue. Instead of "I failed, I'm useless," they say, "That didn't work, what can I learn?" Instead of "I can't do this," they say, "This is hard, but I can take one step." People who talk to themselves often develop this inner coach naturally. They don't wait for external validation. They generate their own motivation. They don't collapse under pressure. They talk themselves through it. This isn't naive positivity. It's strategic self-support. And self-support, practiced consistently, builds unshakable resilience.